Just then, her brother-in-law shows up, but instead of seeing his wife, he heads straight to the pregnant lady and hugs her. Furious, Kim goes after his brother-in-law to confront him, but his sister stops him and reveals that woman is actually his real wife, and the affair was actually between him and me. I'm his mistress. Her brother-in-law had left her for the pregnant woman, so the lady Kim's sister confronted was the brother-in-law's legitimate wife. Kim had asked him to fix everything, but the brother-in-law ended up leaving Kim's sister instead. Kim was shocked because he had misunderstood the whole situation completely. Meanwhile, Ji-wook searches Seon's room. He pulls out a book and finds a drawing made with red lines. He goes straight to Han and asks, "What is this?" Han explains, "These are S lines. They appear on anyone who's had physical relationships with multiple people. With these glasses, the lines become clearly visible. I've had this ability since childhood." But Ji-wook doesn't fully trust her. Han says, maybe Seon was blackmailing the person who pushed her off the roof using these glasses. In this scene, Hugh sees Seon on the hospital bed. She notices Seon's S-line on her head disappearing, meaning she has died. But suddenly, Seon wakes up in class, realizing it was all just a nightmare. Next, we see the teacher, Miss Young, who also has these S-line glasses. While all the teachers are eating, Miss Young tells them, "I want to become an actor." The school's music teacher arrives, and all the teachers comment on how handsome he is. Even the music teacher seems to have a crush on him. At night, Miss Young goes to a hotel. This hotel, Han is working at the hotel counter, handing out room keys to the guests. Meanwhile, Ji-wook teams up with his fellow detective to crack the case of the mysterious glasses and figure out who pushed Seon off the building. Ji-wook explains the concept of the S-lines to his partner. Han's friends arrive at the hotel, and all three sit together at the counter. Suddenly, Miss Young walks in again. Jinwoo sees her and says, "I've seen her somewhere before." Later, we see Miss Young talking to herself in a room. Afterwards, when she leaves, Han's friend Yand is on the rooftop and notices her. Jinwoo spots Yand and recognizes him as one of the school staff. Miss Young goes home, where she's behaving very strangely. Meanwhile, Ji-wook is looking into Han's parents' case. He discovers that Han's mom found out about her dad's affair because of Han's drawings, and she ended up killing him. Ji-wook meets Han at the hospital and asks how many S-lines are on Seon's head. Han replies, "Just one S-line, but we don't know who it's connected to because whoever it is, they're not from the school." Ji-wook asks if there are multiple pairs of glasses to see the S-lines. Han says she's not sure. Then he realizes, yeah, there must be multiple glasses like this. In the next scene, we see Miss Young visiting the music room to meet the music teacher. She asks, "What do you know about me?" He replies, "You want to become an actor." Miss Young is thrilled and asks, "How do you know that?" We then see their S-lines, at first connected to others, but then gradually merging with each other. Meanwhile, Jun Seon meets Yoon at school and asks, "Will you come with me?" He takes her to the swimming pool, saying, "I used to come here to swim." Yoon hesitates as she steps into the water. Yoon hesitates but suddenly jumps into the middle of the pool. She stays underwater for quite a while. Jun-seon thinks she's drowning, so he dives in to save her. But instead of panic, they lock eyes and start laughing. They get out of the pool together. Jun-seon gives her his hoodie, and the two sit down eating noodles. Yoon admits, "I'm a little weird. I see lines on people." Jun asks, "Like this?" He points to his own head. "Tell me, how many lines do I have?" She replies, "None." And Jin has none either. Jun-seon says, "I'm weird too. If I disappeared, no one would even notice." Han says Jin and I would notice. That night, Han recalls the moment Jun-seon gave her his hoodie, and suddenly an S-line appears on his head. At the police station, Ji-wook tells his friend, "There's a girl I'm interested in, and she's a teacher at Ark High." Meanwhile, Miss Young arrives at the hotel once again. She goes to her room and starts talking to herself. While Yoon is doing room service, she hears Miss Young repeating the same monologue over and over, but with different tones and expressions each time. We see that Miss Young has made a hole in the wall of her room to spy on the neighbors next door. She watches as the school's music teacher, Park, enters the room with another girl. Their S-lines are connected, meaning the girl is Park's girlfriend. The two get intimate, and Miss Young burns with jealousy because the man she has a crush on is physically involved with someone else. The girl promises to come back tomorrow and leaves. The next day, Miss Young plans to replace her. When the girl returns, Miss Young knocks her out, steals her clothes, and goes into the room with the music teacher herself. But the music teacher recognizes her and says, "What are you doing here?" He tries to leave, but Miss Young starts repeating the same monologue she's been obsessively saying. Park tells her to stay away and tries to walk off. Suddenly, Miss Young stabs him from behind with a stapler, knocking him out. She lays him on the bed and starts kissing him, trying to get physical. She behaves like a psychopath, but then notices blood coming from his head. Still, she doesn't stop and keeps going until Park dies, and his S-line disappears from his head. Panic sets in for Miss Young, who rushes to the bathroom and starts stabbing herself with the stapler, still repeating the same monologue. At that moment, Hyun comes in to clean and finds a girl tied up asking for help. She removes the gag from her mouth, and the girl tells her that Miss Young took all her clothes. Hyun checks the room and finds the music teacher dead on the bed, and Miss Young dead in the bathtub. Ji-wook asks Han about this, and she explains everything. They realize this case is also connected to the glasses. Ji-wook empties the bathtub and finds the same glasses lying there. He puts them on and starts seeing the S-lines.